Forever Youth Pastor, episode 13. Here we are. We got here. A few weeks off. I just needed it. I don't know. This stuff is hard. It's hard to just keep doing this. But I'm ready to roll and I got some fun ideas. Basically, I'm trying to make 50 of these and this is 13. So here we go. This episode, the question is are you having trouble with relationships? It just seems in my journey with my friends, with people that I'm just connected to, even within our community, it seems like one of the things that people try to hide the most is how much they're struggling with relationships. But it's like almost everybody has some sort of significant struggle with a very important relationship in their life. And so, like, what are some things that we could do to help us get better at relationships? And so I'm just going to offer one very simple one kind of crazy, subversive, revolutionary one. And it doesn't come from me. It comes from the greatest of all time. It comes from Jesus. And this is what Jesus did. We just got to kind of lean in for this. Jesus did this crazy, insane thing that every single person that was in front of Jesus, to him in that moment, that person was the most important person in the universe. Prove that wrong. Prove that wrong. Go find a time when Jesus didn't do that. And notice the times that people get so upset with Jesus is when he incessantly does that and he's unwilling to play this made up imaginary human game that's like this man-made ranking system. When he doesn't comply with the man-made ranking system, that's when people get really mad at Jesus. He doesn't play that game. He just kind of plays this game that hey, you right there in front of me, you are a son or daughter of the one true living God and you matter and I love you. And I don't really care about the rest. I just love you. That's what he did. And then, of course, he coached them along. And to some, he said, come on, get up, keep going. And to some, he said, hey, stop sinning. Don't do that anymore. That did not serve you well in the past. Maybe try something new. Get out of that life. Do something better. Otherwise, that's what he did. And it kind of didn't matter what side of things you were on. Jesus had dinner with Pharisees, the really righteous ones, the ones that were to stand apart in society. He hung out with them. He was right there. And sometimes they gave him problems, and sometimes he would just redirect truth just right back at them. Notice that people got real quiet when Jesus directed truth back at them. They didn't know what to do. They had never seen or heard anything like this. And the essence of what we've never seen or heard anything like it, we mere mortals, we humans, that we just can't understand how Jesus could completely rise above this man-made ranking system that determines how we ought to treat the person who's right in front of us. And so let's just take this as an example. What if the person in front of you was actually the most important person in the universe? How would you act? Let me say this again, because I think this is deeply fascinating. If the person who is right there in front of you is actually, whoever is the judge of this, I don't know, but that person is actually the most important person in the universe, and you're standing there looking at them, how do you act? Is it the same way you act towards your best friend? Is it the same way you act towards someone you don't like? Is it the same way you act towards the clerk at the grocery store? Is it the same way you act towards your wife, your husband? Is it the same way you act towards your kids? Right? We act, we kind of react to who's in front of us. And that depends how we act. And we size up that person. Do I like them? Do I not like them? Am I embarrassed to be around them? Am I shy because I have them on like higher on the system and I don't think that I can like talk to a person up there? Or am I deserved to talk to a person up there? Right? And we run through all this equation and try to figure out like, where do I stand? And what does this look like? And how do I fit into all of this when everyone seems to be sizing everyone up? That game is so hard to play. Like, here's the moral of this story, of this whole conversation, is that game, it's a losing game. You can't win it. If you're just concerned about where you stand on the rankings, is like you'll just always want to be higher than you are. And you'll want people that are like above you to see you, but they probably won't. And you'll just always be disappointed. But what if that game is the problem? What if that game is what Jesus came to say no? Like that isn't a real thing. Like that person who's right there in front of you, that's the most important person. I remember like when I was about 15 to 18, someone that I would just hold in the world at the time who was like incredibly impactful from like a distance for me was Tiger Woods. I thought Tiger Woods was a baller. Dude, I watched him as an amateur swing like I had never seen a human swing a golf club, and the ball would fly like 40 yards past his competitors. And we're all like, we've never seen anything like this. And this dude is just coming at golf like this kind of old, frankly, an old man stodgy sport that doesn't really change, that just like falls into traditions. And here's this African American and Asian man, like this just beautiful mixture of America. And he just comes on the scene as this like outsider, but he's also an insider because he's the best golfer on earth. Like this was an epic story. And he came in with all this hype, like no way could he actually become the greatest of all time. And then he did. This dude was a boss. And yeah, like, dude, moral indiscretions for sure. Dude, like, messed up his marriage, and that for sure had an impact on his family, his kids, and all of that. But did we ever expect someone like Tiger Woods to be this balanced human being? Like, he was a trained killer at golf. And for about a 10-year stretch, he was better than anyone had ever done it. And yeah, he was also imbalanced and like completely obsessive about this thing that he was going after. And so I remember like that's kind of the full version of like the whole tracking of this Tiger Woods story. But as like a late high school teenage boy, like he's barely older than me. And so we're like he's a few years ahead of me. And I'm just in on this story. And he's like a 21-year pro, 22-year-old pro, and I'm a 17-year-old high school kid. And I go to volunteer at this this incredible course where they hosted the PGA Championship, one of the majors of the like 4 majors of the year. And so I get to go like walk around for 7 days and like just follow Tiger Woods and pick up trash. I volunteered to pick up trash. And so I was just picking up trash, following around Tiger Woods. And like in that moment when I'm just like full fanboy mode and just like all in on this story, if Tiger Woods was standing before me, that guy would get my very best. I mean, he would have gotten my just deepest admiration and attention if he was standing right there in front of me. And I would have been nervous and I would have been scared and I would have been uncomfortable, but I would have been locked in as I could have been. And so, of course, I posed this crazy radical question. It's like, what if we just treat everybody like that? Like, what if we just treat everybody like that? I'm just not so sure that's not the way of Jesus. Let me rephrase that. I'm pretty sure that's the way of Jesus. And it's like sometimes we wonder, like, how do we love God? What does that look like? Well, I think it looks like that. I think it looks like imagining that the person who's right there in front of you, they're the most important person on earth. They're son or daughter of the one true living God. They matter deeply. They matter to the creator of the universe. And they should darn well matter to us. They should matter to me. They should matter to you. They matter. Like, regardless of their story, regardless of their past, certainly regardless of any outside exterior thing, like, it does not matter. They're all created in the image of the one true living God. And they all matter. And that's exactly how Jesus treated every single one of us that he interacted with. Check it out. Go find it. Prove me wrong. Put it in the comments. Hey, here was this moment where Jesus didn't do that. I dare you to do that. Oh my goodness. I'll actually PayPal you $20. I'll PayPal you. You just put your email address there with a passage where he doesn't do that. I'll send you $20. Happily. Totally. Find it. Use AI. Find it. This will be fun. And so, like, what if we did this? I think your relationships would change. I think most of the disappointment we have in relationships is what we're not getting from other people. But what if we just train ourselves to set that aside, to make that secondary? And first and foremost, we treat that person in front of us like they're the most important person. Like they really matter. And what you'll find is like people will feel loved, people will feel seen and heard by you. People will want to be around you. People will love being in your presence. Try me on this one too. You can test it. Just try it. I'm not sure I'm going to put money on the line because that might like shade the way that you just try it. You just go all in. Don't try to like prove me wrong, but just give it your best effort. Like tomorrow, whenever you watch this, like tomorrow, like one person, one day, just make this decision. This next interaction, it can be the most random person. It could be somebody you're making a purchase from at whatever store. It could be an interaction at work. It could be your spouse. It could be a great friend. It could be someone that you're kind of having some tension with. I mean, that would be challenging, right? It's hard. Dude, it's so hard. But like try it. And if you really stack a few days together, it's like this podcast is about faith, love, and the power of compounding. This is a way that you'll just see compounding. You'll see after a week, you'll see after 2 weeks, you'll see after a month, you'll see after 2 months. Like I bet in 2 months, when asked the question, are you struggling with relationships? You'll be like, nah, I'm good. I'm okay. Stuff's kind of working. You can try it. I don't know. Hey, this next like 5, 7 minutes or so, I'm going to do this thing every episode. I am a pastor. I've been a youth pastor for 22 years, hence the name of the podcast, Forever Youth Pastor. But I'm also like deeply into technology. And I think that there's like this massive thing where like even my world and my identity as a pastor is like colliding with like these future questions of like meaning and purpose. And like, oh my goodness, like, do we all have like a digital God that's coming, right? A lot of people refer to AI as a digital God. I'd say, well, okay, that quickly gets into my realm of like, oh, these worlds are colliding and I'm trying to like get in front of this. And I don't know if there's many pastors talking AI. So like every episode, like if you just want to tune out during this section or if you want to skip ahead to this section every week, I'm just going to go for it and we're just going to talk about it. And so I've been thinking about this thing. Like my daughter is graduating high school this year and she's just incredible. Just an amazing human being who just like she just hustles. She just gets after it. She just has a beautiful love for people and just a deep empathy and she hustles. And so like she'll come home and she's like, "Hey, I used dad." And she's honest, by the way. And she's like, "Dad, I used ChatGPT for my such and such assignment." And like these two dueling thoughts come out. And I bet if you're a parent of teens right now, you have like these two dueling thoughts, maybe. One is like this morality that I have in me, like cheating is bad. Yeah. I mean, I actually believe cheating is bad. And every time in my life that I've tried to like shortcut and cheat through something, it's just been a less good result than it could have been if I worked through that. That being said, we all like at times take shortcuts, and that's just like a part of the story, right? And then, okay, when my daughter comes home and says that she used AI for this time, and my other thought is like, isn't the whole future AI? Shouldn't these students be using AI? I mean, what are we doing? Why are we encouraging them to use it? As I had this other thought, it's like if you're gonna like caption like what's happening today in the world. Here's what's happening today. What's happening today is students are getting accused of cheating for using AI to do their schoolwork because that work is preparing them for the future. Right? That's the whole basis of the educational system. We got to churn them through to get them ready for the future, to prepare them for the future. And then like the future responds by saying, like anyone not using AI has no job. Like every technologist, everyone in every industry is saying like if you're not learning AI right now, like you're going to be behind. If you're not learning AI, you're not going to have a job at some point in the future. Another way of saying it is every job will have AI. So why wouldn't students soon to be stepping into the future be using AI? Like on all the stuff. And like why aren't they figuring out then? It's like, okay, we got all this information that's easily accessible, like pretty much in like 3 seconds we can access anything from like Einstein to the US Constitution to like what's going on today in Iran. Anything. It can just like give you stuff and you can find out the leading experts on all of it just by asking. Like everything is there almost immediately. And so like just a lot of the education up to this point was like teaching people stuff. So you had information. So you had this baseline of truth. And by the way, I deeply believe that that's super important forever for all of humans, like history. But the whole ability to access information it's just completely transforming before our very eyes. You can just kind of pull up in 10 seconds and become kind of like you can find out what the very foremost expert on that thing says about that thing. And you can just learn from the foremost expert of that thing. And so, like, all of that's going to change. The entire structure of everything is going to change. But, like, we're still telling students that they, like, are cheating if they use ChatGPT. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I feel like a future where we're preparing them for the future, like, or maybe a better way of saying it is like a present today, more properly preparing our students for the future rather than like shooting for some thing that was in the past and how it worked. And like, this is why we keep doing it the same way. And I know that's everything. That's church work. That's every government work. That's school. That's education. That's healthcare. It's everything. Totally. And so we'll just like keep trudging along. But my take from this little corner of the internet, learn AI. Like learning AI today, like really intensely, like really truly getting after it and understanding it, put me in the camp of thinking that's way better than a 4-year college degree from today forward. I'm on that side of the debate. And that might prove wrong. I don't know, but I'm definitely on that side of the debate. And so teenagers, and by the way, I've been working with teenagers for 22 years. Like teenagers, just learn AI. Like right now, just start using it as much as possible. Like, don't use it to cheat. Fine, don't use it to cheat. But like, use it in everything else. Just use it, learn it, figure out the prompts. Like I just read the other day, like someone was being paid $500,000 just because they're a wizard at prompt engineering. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially like instead of having to know coding to create computer programs, now all you need is the English language and AI creates the code based on your ability to prompt the AI. And so humans that learn the prompts, they're making $500K if they're like brilliant at it. Watch some YouTube videos, learn some stuff, figure it out. All right, that's all. You're the best if you made it this far. And this is kind of what we're going to do. I'm going to have like a topic about Jesus and just like he's the greatest of all time. We'll just learn from him. It'll be great. And we're going to talk some AI. And I'm super excited about the future. We'll just see what this continues to look like. I'm guessing episode 35 is going to be totally different. But hey, the word of the day is Ron John Surf Shop. That's because I got a sticker right over there. Ron John Surf Shop. Everyone that sees that in the comments will be like, that doesn't even make any sense. We'll trick them. It'll be fun. You're the best. Thank you.